Amazing week. Let's have a great Friday the 13th weekend. Hopefully you're no cabin stays this week for you, no camping in the woods. As long as you avoid that, I think you're going to be all right. So I'm going to bring on a friend here in just a second. One thing that's just such a joy as being a podcaster is podcasting is just the ultimate networking tool, and it allows me to just meet amazing people. I end up collaborating with most of them. I end up doing amazing business with a lot of them. It leads to like so much great opportunity. And that brings me to something that I want to share with you, and you may have seen right here, and that is upmyinfluence.com/free class. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be opening up the playbook, and I'm going to do a free 4-week class. It's going to start the last week of January. So I think it's like the 25th of January is the very first Q&A session that I'm going to be doing. It's absolutely free. I'm happy to answer every and all questions, but the goal is that if you are an agency owner, consultant, coach, or B2B service provider, I would be thrilled to teach you for free and just teach you everything we do. I'm a glass house kind of business owner, and I'm happy to share with you everything that we've learned and how, and this is it, how I've been able to be 100% inbound with big ticket clients for now 3 years and 1 month. And let's see, 13 plus 12, 25 days. So, and I'll share everything, but now to register so I can send you all this stuff, I'm going to send you each week, I'm going to send you some materials, links, resources, my favorite books, exactly what you need to do. And then every week, Wednesday afternoon, or Thursday afternoon, we're going to do a Q&A session. But again, if you go to that URL, that's where you can do that. Okay. So thank you so much. And I'm really looking forward to having you join me there. Now, it is my distinct privilege to bring on one of my good friends. And I kind of want to tee this up. Michael DeLon, before I share what you do, this is really important for our guest that's watching us. I have done over 1,500 interviews on my podcast. I get to talk to a lot of smart people. And from time to time, I have had book coaches, publishers, people in that writing experts, ghost writers. I've had about everybody that you can imagine in the publishing and book world as guests on the podcast. And a lot of them are pretty good at what they do. But Michael, when I had you as a guest on and I looked at how you work with your clients, I said, Michael, your program is exactly what I've been looking for. I've looked at a lot of, and I really went down the rabbit hole and again, nothing against other great book coaches, wonderful. But when I saw what you guys have built and developed, I'm like, you are eliminating all of the excuses. You are eliminating all of the roadblocks for successful business leaders and owners, founders, people with domain expertise, people with great stories. You've made it just brain dead easy for them finally to be able to realize and get a book put together. I became a client of yours. We've been able to do work back and forth together. And it is just such a joy. And 2023, I'm happy to announce, is going to be the year that for 20 some years of business ownership, I am finally ready and able to put my book and get my book, from up here. And I've probably, Michael, and I'm going to talk to you about this. I probably have a few books up in here, but they're not out here for people to enjoy. And what a shame that is. But Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Josh, you are welcome, man. It's always fun to be with you. And I can't wait to hold your book in my hand as we get it out of your head. So thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. So why, Michael? So I'm going to, to our friend that's watching, there's a couple things. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Number one, pitch me your book idea. I want to hear if you were to write a book, what would that book be about? Or maybe you've thought about different titles or whatever. I want to know what you're an expert in. And I want to know, if, let's say that we were to just, in a perfect world, the book and being able to get that book done was just we eliminated all the excuses. Now it's finally becoming a reality. like what would the title of that book? Comment below, whether you're watching this live or you're seeing a recording of this. I'll be seeing all the comments. I want to know what your expertise. I want to know what your book is. I'm excited. I want to read your book probably. But Michael, I suspect that at some point in your life you thought about this before you had your first book.
Oh, totally, Josh. I mean, what happened to me is I escaped from prison back in, I don't know, well, a long time ago. Now, it wasn't a literal prison, Josh. It was, I was in a job that I hated. I was serving in a ministry that I loved. And when I escaped from prison and left that ministry to start a marketing consulting firm in Little Rock, I would meet with you and we'd have a great conversation about your business. And you would say, now, Michael, what have you done to grow your business? Or what have you done to help other people grow their business? And I'm like, well, I've been in ministry for 10 years. And you say, no, Michael, look at the time. I've got to go, but thanks so much. And you'd usher me out the door. I had no credibility. And what I did then, Josh, is I went to my church. I prayed. God gave me this idea to create my own book, put all of my strategies and thoughts in my own book. So I did that. I published my book. Then I would mail my book to you before we would meet. And when I walked into your office, you had read my book. It was dog-eared, highlighted, and underlined. And you would say, now, Michael, in your book, you said, how do you help me do that? And you'd hire me. And so I was at a point, Josh, when I was struggling to get clients and I was fighting with all the ad agencies and media reps. It was competitive. I couldn't figure out how to convince you to hire me. And so what I did is I gave you a great opportunity to have a conversation with me through the pages of my book. And what that did is it allowed us to connect, because you started to understand who I was, how I operate, and how I could help you achieve the goals you were after. So when I walked in, it wasn't a first appointment. It was more like a second or a third appointment. And I was already the expert in your mind. And that is really what happens when you're a published author. It changes how people think about you. And when you can change that, and when they see you as an expert, game over.
Yeah. Michael, one thing that, from, Up My Influences perspective that I'm really thoughtful of is the authority. Or let me not tee up your answer. But by the way, before I get into this question, to our friend that's watching this, if all you want and all you need today is some positivity, just keep us going. Michael, you have such a great energy, and I think that, like, I feel, a little bit like, ooh, if they're listening to me, I'm a little, I'm an acquired taste, I keep the energy a little high. You as well, like, you match and exceed me, my friend. So if, to our friend that's watching, all you need is some positive energy and some love and light in your life today, just keep us playing, even if you don't care about what we're talking about, because I promise you it's infectious, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a good day.
So, but my question is, so to someone who's been on the fence, like, man, I'd really like to, there are, in addition to what you just illustrated there are a lot of benefits that come when you have the book in hand, like you have a physical book, you have that book available. Like, what are some of those other secondary benefits that maybe folks may not even be aware of?
Yeah, well, number one, it is that authority, that expertise. If you want to get on podcasts, wow, there's no better way than to say I'm the author of. Go read my book. If you do networking events, which a lot of us do now, most people are putting in like their LinkedIn profiles or their websites or their calendar. Why don't you give people a copy of your book? Give your book away so that as they read it, they actually see you as an expert, because you've got to separate yourself from being a salesperson from being the expert, right? If you look at Tony Robbins or Seth Godin or all those guys, they're experts. They have credibility. You would not expect them to come with some sales techniques, right? So it really separates you from everybody else because you're giving and you allow Josh, I work with experts. I work with thought leaders. And what we do is we put your thoughts into the book. So you don't get rich selling your book on Amazon. You get rich by gaining clients by selling your thoughts through your book. And so it's really separating you, putting yourself in a category of one, as Dan Kennedy used to say. And it causes people to want to have you as guest on podcast. They want to have conversations with you. They want to joint venture with you. And so it's a lot more than just, I get a client. It positions you as an influencer, and it really expands your sphere of influence multiple times.
And so I think a lot of us look at that, Michael, we go, well, that sounds great. And then we start thinking about, well, what it's going to take. And maybe we suffer from the blinking cursor thing. Well, let me ask you, what do you think keeps most brilliant people, and there are brilliant experts. There's someone watching this right now that has such a powerful book in their head, in their mind right now. Maybe it's, strewn about in different videos and content they've produced, but it's not organized in a book currently. And the reason why is because there's probably a stack of obstacles that, or maybe they're real, maybe they're, just our own hangups. But what do you find tends to be the things that most commonly keep us from realizing our magnum opus?
Yeah, seriously. No, that's great. That's a great way to put it. A lot of times it is time. Right, we're all busy business owners. We got businesses running. We got families. Who has the time to actually sit down and start typing? Number one. Number two, that's the wrong way to go about it. I'm a publisher, Josh. I will tell you flat out, never write a book. And what I mean by that is when I wrote my first book, I actually typed it out, right? It about killed me. It took me a long time. It was terrible. What we do is we have a speak to write process where we actually interview you, because the people we work with, Josh, they can talk about their business all day long. They answer questions every week. Our writers not only get the content from you, but we structure it in a way that actually makes sense. Because here's one of the myths, Josh. And there are a lot of book coaches out there and doing some great things, but a lot of experts think, well, I just have to write my book. Well, no. Yeah. First, you have to get it out, but now you need to make it sure it flows. Now you have to edit it. Now you have to proofread it. Now you have to format it. Now you have to get a nice. There are so many other steps involved that a business owner goes, oh, I don't know anything about that. That's right. That's why we hire CPAs and attorneys and tax resolution people like you, Josh, right? It makes no sense to me when a successful expert spends the time to try to become an author when really you're a thought leader and you're a communicator. Put that aside and let somebody like us or somebody else help you get your words out of your head. We'll structure it for you. We write it in your voice. It's your tone. It's your message. And we get it done so fast that it will spin your head.
Well, Michael, someone might hear that and go, well, wait a minute, isn't that cheating? Don't I have to work hard. I have to toil. Otherwise, that's, I don't know, just trying to think of someone, thinks that you have to go through a journey of pain in order to have a real book or something.
Yeah, it's not my book if I don't write it. We hear that all the time. And I say, have you ever heard of Tony Robbins or Seth Godin or John Maxwell, or the list goes on and on and on. They don't sit down in front of a computer and write their books. They've got people who listen to them, who transcribe everything. It is their content. It's their words. So in our process, Josh, our writers don't add content. Okay, we are crafting your words because you're a great communicator. And so it is your thoughts. They are your words. We're just making you sound great in print because there's a little bit of difference than being on video, right? So it is you. You are the author. Just because it's in print is irrelevant. You are the owner. This is your content. That's what's important, because people are buying you and your thoughts and how you do things. That's what you're communicating.
Yeah. And I can just tell you again, from the PR perspective and using your authority it's not so much, Michael, about you're going to write a book and you're going to make a ton of, for most people that you work with, you're not going to make a ton of money on book sales.
You're not.
I think most of us know that's a hard slog today. There is so much more opportunity that is so much more valuable. It's kind of like how we look at podcasts, really.
Absolutely.
It's like, people overvalue, I'm going to get this in a reader's hand and they're going to buy me. I'm going to make all this money it's like, podcast sponsorships. It can happen, or Patreon. It can happen, but that's a grind, as opposed to, I think you're tripping over huge stacks of cash to pick up pennies. And that's kind of the way I look at the book, is like, don't get focused on book sales and that's where you're going to make your money. There's so much opportunity from now, the credibility and authority bump that opens up doors, opens up opportunities, increases conversion rate, shortens sales cycles. You get media invites, speaking invites. These all work a little bit better when you have a book. And because I don't have a book, that's a negative for me. So I've had to make that up with, the guy's been on the media 2,500 times. So it's like, I have to leverage that because I don't have the book. So do the book, because that's a lot easier than going in the media that many times.
Well, it really is. And think about the 1-2 punch. Okay. Think about this in a boxing thing. When you're an author and you have a podcast, I venture to say you can get into just about anybody on earth. Make your list of your top 10 prospects, mail them a copy of your book in a big FedEx envelope that's going to get past the gatekeeper with a nice note. And when they get it, then email them or call them and say, hey, I was the guy who sent you that book. I would love to interview you on my podcast. I've been following you. I love what you do. Would you please join me and share with my audience what you do?
Michael, let's hit pause here for just a second, because I want to make sure that someone who just casually heard that didn't miss that, because that formula right there, think about it for our friends that do account-based sales. They do, very relationship-oriented sales and onboarding and that sort of thing. They tend to be pretty prescriptive in how they work with their experts. And you are selling or engaging with very exclusive folks. That formula that Michael just threw out there, I want to make sure you don't miss that, because Michael, this is a great illustration of a go-giver strategy.
Yes.
We're not spraying and praying and saying, would you like help, blah, 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 and going right into your pitch. And it's all about us, me monster type communication, right, which is 99% of what ends up in my DMs and Facebook. Stop doing that. It just does not work, period. It does not work with particularly that more exclusive buyer persona. They're not going to engage with you. They don't like spam. They don't like being spammed at. It's interruptive. It's annoying. You're being a pest. Don't do that. Instead, lead in generosity. Use your book as an incredible gift that you can put in hands. Not only is it a gift, we're pushing the reciprocity needle over. And you're also at the same time earning proximity if they are able to look at the back cover, kind of flip through it, start to, okay, this guy clearly has a lot of domain expertise. And then you don't follow it up with a sales pitch. Instead, you follow it up with an offer of more generosity and more opportunity to earn proximity. Because Michael, whether it's in a book or physically or on Zoom or whatever, proximity leads to familiarity. Familiarity leads to know, like, and trust. Yep. And when someone's got a book and they're flipping through and reading your words, you're starting to create what's known as familiarity bias, which means I feel like when I read an author's words, they don't know who I am. They don't know me in that moment, but I'm starting to get to know them. Now, if I eventually engage and connect with that person, I'm going to come on there and I'm going to be smiling at them. Because I just spent 30 minutes with you virtually, and I cannot tell you how good that is for engagements and sales and all that sort of thing.
Absolutely. And on top of that, all right, the thing I love about books, Josh, is when I mail this to you and I've signed it to you, you're not throwing it away, because it's sacrilegious in our culture to throw a book away. If I send you my ebook, how many ebooks do you have on your computer and where are they, right?
Yeah.
Put this in somebody's hand. It makes it. How many signed copies of somebody's book have you received in the last month? Yeah. Why don't you do it? Why don't you be the first to step away from the crowd and say, I'm different and I engage differently? I would love to have a conversation with you.
I have a lot of friends, I think, who would agree with this sentiment, Michael, and that is, please, marketers ruin everything. So don't do what all the other amateur marketers are doing.
Yeah.
Stay classy.
Yeah.
Do what classy business owners do, and you'll be treated like a classy business leader. And you know, if you've got a book, that is an indicator that you've got something to say. Michael, I want to get into now let's give some tactical advice and tips on, I think we've hammered this. You need in 2023, if you want to stand out from the noise, the hubbub, the ruckus, all the me little, amateur business, folks out there. And again, not their fault. They're doing the best they can. It's just some guru told them, that they were one funnel away and all they need to do is spray and pray, and then all their wildest dreams can come true. But we want to talk about now, I know you have a lot of gifts. I'm going to put a couple of links on the screen here. Of free resources that you offer so you can start people down this path. And so this first one here is paperbackexpert.com/guides. In fact, I'll put this on the screen here. Michael, would you mind describing what's on this page right here?
Yeah. So just 3 free resources we had. How to choose your perfect title in just 4 steps. That's one of the first things you want to do with your book, is think of the title, because you want it to be a title that grabs people, okay? Your ideal audience should be intrigued by your title. So this is just a really simple way to do that. To learn how to kick writer's block and outline your book, we've put together, this is one of the other things, that if you sit in front of your computer with a blank screen, you're dead. Okay, you're just not getting anywhere. This little download will help you learn how to kick that and first build the outline for your book. So when you're thinking about a book, you need to think about the title and the outline first before you ever create any content. And then on the right-hand side, the book writing bootcamp, that's a course, Josh, we put in. It's an email-based course, absolutely free. It models the exact process that we take a client through. So if somebody says, man, I've got more time than money, then take that course, Book Writing Bootcamp, and we will systematically help you create your book by following the process that we use. Those are 3 great resources.
Yeah. And you're right. This, kind of that writer's block and that blinking cursor. I'm going to ask you a question because I'm sure it's come up. Do you think that how could authors benefit from AI writing tools?
Yeah, that's very interesting. AI is very interesting because you give it something and it's bringing it back, right? And so you could get some thoughts out there generically. The downside of AI is if 2 people say the same thing, say, hey, give me this, you're going to get very similar results. So it's not going to be you. I'm not a huge fan of AI, although you can use it to kind of get 50% of the way. And what I would say, instead of using AI, use the recording function on Zoom or Loom or your computer, build an outline and speak into a Word document or something. Let it be your content, then go back and edit it. So I would really skip the AI because I want you. Your book needs to be you, not some computer.
And it's amazing. I think that if we just how easy this could be, right? I don't, maybe I'm alone, but I have done all kinds of trainings and spoken out stuff to my steering wheel that will never see the light of day, but it was good for me. and after a while, it's kind of funny, Michael, I've noticed something, we were talking about an aspect of faith and religiosity before we hit record. I don't want to go into the details on that, but it's amazing how many books worth of content. Once I'm on my bike and people say, there's that guy. Well, he's talking to himself on his bike. I don't know. Man, I'm talking out a book right there, baby.
Absolutely.
It's once we start it, it's amazing. Wow, I do have a lot to say.
Well, you do, and honestly, to kick writer's block, the best thing to do is to start with like a Google Doc and put in an outline. What are the 10 most frequently asked questions that you get all the time? Put those as chapter titles, and then underneath each chapter, put like bullet points of your answers or maybe a story of how you've helped somebody. And now just talk about that and capture it, record it, get it transcribed, and now you're about 50% done. There you go. That's how you get this stuff out, just like you said. And whether you're on a bike, driving in your car, you're in the shower, wherever, that's how you start the process of creating your book without writing a word. It's just easier when you have a professional writer peppering you and guiding you and asking you and hearing you, when all you have to do is sit up and talk, just like you do and I do. That's the beauty of our process.
Yeah. So again, I just want to share this one more time. Paperbackexpert.com/guides. Here's the free stuff that you can use right now. Again, discover how to choose your perfect title in 4 steps. Learn how to kick writer's block and outline your book. This is also free download. And then Book Writing Bootcamp, a free course, Michael, which this is another reason, Michael, I wanted to have you on, is I love being able to share a lot of goodies and gifts, because not everyone may be ready to personally engage with you, but would you mind talking a little bit about kind of what that looks like? And you know, you don't have to be specific in terms of investment, but generally, you know, what does that process look like?
Yeah. So the process is, first of all, when you become a client, you're gonna work directly with me to create your signature message, your crystal clear message and book title, because I know that is the most important thing. And from there, once we get that solidified, we're going to bring one of our writers to the table, and they're going to guide you through a process of Zoom calls, 1 hour a week for about 8 to 10 weeks to build the outline for your book. And then you're going to speak to write your content. And then once that's done, the writer's going to write your book in your voice. You're going to review it all with your writer until it's just exactly what you want. Then it goes to our editing and our proofreading division, our formatting division, our cover designers create a stunning cover. Then we publish you to Amazon and to Kindle and electronic PDF. Then we make you an Amazon best-selling author, guaranteed. We can also do audiobooks. We do everything, Josh, except creating the content. And that's where we help you speak to write the content. So this is by far the easiest, fastest, really most cost-effective way to create your book, is to do it without writing a word. And our process is just well-oiled. We've been doing this for 11 years, Josh. We've helped hundreds of business owners. If you've ever thought of creating a book for your business, now is the time to at least investigate, have a conversation. Usually our first call is 25 minutes, and we just dive in and say, where are you? And is this even the right next step for you? I told a guy last week, Josh, no, this is not the right next step for you, because he wasn't ready. He didn't have a clear message, and he was kind of young in business. I said, no, let's stop. Let's get your message dialed in first. Take that out to the market, make some money, gain some clients and some stories. Then let's revisit this in like 9 months and see if that's the right time. So I am here to tell you no more than yes many times, because I want this to be right for you.
And that is the mark. I could share with you. I hire a lot of people with our company, and that's, I want to listen for that. I want to kind of talk through who shouldn't be doing this, who should be doing this. Is this, so also the fact that, Michael, you have been doing this for 11 years, you and your team, boy, you sure gain a lot of wisdom, more so than maybe someone that's kind of like an overnight book coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Overnight book coach, I guarantee, just wants to sell a lot of their product. Well, I shouldn't say guarantee, but in most cases, whereas if you have someone that's like, your reputation is stellar, you have worked with a lot of really great clients. And in fact, Michael, another freebie that you give away is a calculator. Let me put this on the screen as well.
Oh, yeah. The credibility
calculator. Calculate your credibility in under 5 minutes. Why is this valuable?
So I talk a lot about credibility marketing, and credibility is like this term we all No, we throw around, but what is it really? And so we created this calculator. It's absolutely free. In under 5 minutes, by answering 20 questions, I
Mm.
will give you your credibility score on 0 to 100. I mean, Josh, you've got a credit score. We all do. And we try to make it better. Do you know your credibility score in the eyes of your audience? How credible are you? We've got 20 questions. Answer them. I'll give you a score 0 to 100, and then I'll follow that up with 5 videos that will help you understand how to increase your credibility in the eyes of your audience. And that's going to do more for you than anything else I can give you right now to help you build your credibility and gain more clients. That's what the credibility calculator is all about. If you just go to our website, paperbackexpert.com, you can't miss it. Big red letters right at the top of the page. So the credibility calculator is an amazing, amazing, simple tool. The other thing that you want to look at when you're on our website is the section that says free. I do a lot of short trainings. I call them micro trainings, and they're on there for free, from pre-selling your appointment on video to 7 sins of email marketing to having a crystal clear message. These are all trainings that I've done to my audience that we put on our website so that you can learn absolutely free how we think about marketing and how you can learn from that. And so paperbackexpert.com is the website, and up at the top you can find the calculator. You can find information on all of our free resources, and you can find out about our coaching program. We teach coaching programs as well as credibility marketing, and we also have programs just to help people clarify their message. So if you're not ready for a book yet because you don't have a crystal clear message, we've got a short 30-day program where you will work directly with me, and we will help you crystallize your message and make it compelling so that when you take it out to the market, whether that's in a book or a webinar or LinkedIn or a free report or a video, your crystal clear message is what's going to separate you from everybody else. It's going to capture the attention of your audience. It's going to cause them to respond because it's going to not only resonate with them, but it resonates with you and your story and who you are. So, that those resources on our website, Josh, I want everybody just to go and grab at their pleasure and leisure, and don't let anything stop you from creating your book, because we have created a process where it's super simple. It's the fastest, easiest, most cost-effective way to get your book out of your head and into print, and then we'll show you exactly how to use your book to get on podcasts, to get on stages, to get into those hard to reach people, to build your credibility, to get more clients, gain more referrals, grow your revenue. There are so many ways to use your book in your business, in your marketing. And that's what we're all about. We really, really want to help you grow your business. And that starts with a clear message and positioning yourself as the expert in the eyes of your audience. That's where the credibility calculator comes in. That's where our free trainings come in. That's the heartbeat of our company, Josh. And I hope that that makes sense. And I hope that people will just check out our website. You know, if you want to have a conversation with me, the website's the best place to find me. Watch the videos, find out how we've helped other people create a book without writing a word, and we will help you take your business to an all new level. Because once you have your book, it is an asset in your business for the rest of your career. If you're going to be in business for a few more years, there's no better investment than creating your own book and then leveraging that book in media appearances to reach hard to reach prospects, to get on podcasts, get on stages. Everything that you want to do comes when you clarify your message, simplify your marketing, then you're going to be able to multiply your results. And Josh, that's really what we help our clients do. So it's a fun process. We help you break through the clutter, not be forgotten, and go from overlooked to overbooked on your calendar. And just like you, Josh, help people with inbound marketing, when you create your book, it's just going to amplify that, because everybody who sees you, who interacts with you, whether it's on networking, whether it's on your email signature, putting on your email signature, Amazon best-selling author of on marketing, right? Put that book on your email so that when everybody sees your email, how many emails do you send a day or a week? Why not give everybody an opportunity to get a free copy of your book and use it as lead generation for your business? What better way to be a go-giver, right, than to lead with your best content? And your best content, well, it should be in your book. When you look at all of the experts that are out there, the Seth Godins of the world, the Simon Sinek's of the world, they might start with a TED Talk or a podcast or an interview. They always migrate to being an author. Why is that? It's because in our culture and in our minds, experts have books. And when you're ready to position yourself as the expert in the eyes of your audience, there's no better way to do it than creating your book without writing a word. So go to paperbackexpert.com. Check us out. See if we're a good fit for you. Let's have a conversation. 25-minute conversation with me. We will see if we're a good fit together and see how this fits into your 2023 marketing strategy, because a book really is a strategy when you think about it properly. It's a lot more than just getting your thoughts out. It's how does this fit into your business growth plan? So, Josh, that's what we do. That's what we want to help people with. And I hope our time has been exciting for people. I hope it's been educational for people. I hope they'll go to paperbackexpert.com and look at lots of the free resources to investigate some of the books we've created and to schedule a conversation. Let's talk about your book and how we can help you take what's in here and put it out there, and then use your book to gain clients, get referrals, and grow your revenue. So, Josh, that's what I've got, man. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this is what you wanted, and we will look forward to connecting with everybody else. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Please continue to put things in the chat. If you've got questions, you can reach directly out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn, obviously, but you can also find me on paperbackexpert.com. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate your time. Take care, everybody.